Our task was shared last weekend, and after the class, I had multiple things to do, both training sessions and my work. All right. So this task was shared across to every one of us. If I'm correct, it is this one, which is week 1 project. Okay. And the details were there. And checking my social media, especially Twitter, I haven't been very frequent. I've not been on Telegram, LinkedIn. It's just Twitter. I probably just checked and I got information about the need for the video as promised to get more clarification on how to perform this task, right? So I decided to create the video. So these were the instructions. So I created this. This is to guide everybody on how to attempt the task. Okay. I labeled it public learning and documentation. All right. This is to guide you all, especially as you begin to embrace your technical writing skill and also your video creation skill. Right. Now, as much as I didn't go too detailed, but I was very informative, I will share the video for the how to create and document a technical writing document. For instance, something as simple as this, something as simple as this, you understand? And how to post it on a CMS platform, how to edit it and publish it for other people to see, right? I give different examples using Medium, Dev.to, Hashnode, and LinkedIn. All this information are available in this video here, all right? It's about 1 hour plus, right? So that's the one of the reasons why it took time trying to clean the video. And I had to stop at some point because the more it's going to take time and I won't get the video ready. So the video has been prepared, right? So after this session, I will drop, or rather, you all have access to this directory, okay? So just go to the resources folder. I'm sure you all know what I mean, right? So you can go to AWS Cloud Engineering, go to the resources folder, click on videos. You should be able to see public learning and you can open the video to have access to it. Now, the video explains or expounds more on these details written down here, how to start your technical writing journey, and the template or the format you could use to get started, right? The structure of writing and eventually writing the document and then publishing it, right? So I made emphasis on all those things in the video. Then the part 2 talks about how to create a video. So the steps on creating the video, okay? And recording softwares that you can use to create the video. While I did not dive so deep into the video creation, I want to believe that if you download or install any of the softwares, I recommended Camtasia because that's what I currently use. Okay, so I used it to record the video, although it's a free version. And I needed to do some tweaking to make the resolution higher. Okay, but I realized that the higher the resolution, the larger the size of the video. And previously, a lot of persons are complaining about the size of the video. So you have to bear with the current resolution of the video. So I had to keep it under 200 MB such that I can still retain 1 hour plus information at a certain quality. All right. So that's what I did there. So like for cleaning it up. All right. So splitting it, everything up and so on and so forth. So this is it. See, all these things are inside the video. Okay, so don't worry, when you watch the video, you're going to see all the details inside it. Okay, so as you can see now, and I think I should have actually posted this on my YouTube, brother. I think that's what I would do, so that I will encourage you all to sign up on my YouTube, because I passed some instructions for everybody, especially those that will be using it, creating a video. So you're expected to create a YouTube channel and paste it there and share it. Okay. And I told you the reasons why you should have a video or a YouTube channel. Even though you're not doing it for this task, it's expected that you should have one. All right. It's very important. And I gave you the reason in the recording. Okay. So probably I might disable this right now, just so that I want to probably make you all to go through the, what is it called? Go through the um go through the YouTube channel. So anyone with the link restricted. So right now, for now, okay, don't worry. If it doesn't achieve anything, I'll still open it for everybody. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, just the access, that's all. Okay. All right. So having said that, that is the response to all the questions that was raised as regards the first task and how to go about it. I gave you the steps and everything there. Okay. So into this class, we will be starting, as the topic says, we will be starting on introduction to storage services on AWS cloud. So if you check the recording, this session, this program, Teams, you will see that the title of the session is Introduction to Storage Services. And that's what we are, Introduction to Storage Services on the cloud. Okay, so that's what we are focusing on. And please, I will encourage you to pay rapt attention. Okay, so I will encourage you to pay rapt attention, and I will encourage you to what is it called? I'll also encourage you to ask questions, and as you put it on the comment section, and I will address it as we proceed. Okay. Okay. So let's move on. I'm going to close some of these things so that I can have ample space to know. All right. Good. Introduction to storage services on the cloud. So this is what we are learning today. And it's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So I'm sure you all can remember the story we started with in the course of the training program, and where we introduced a problem we are trying to solve for a client who we call Chief Abiola. And the name of the company is the company owned by Achiever, trying to solve a problem for Chief Abiola, who has a gaming app, who needs a gaming application, right? And we progressed from showing you how to solve Chief Abiola's problem on a local environment. Then we moved on to showing how we can solve Chief Abiola's problem using modern technologies, especially on the cloud. Okay, so we introduced cloud computing. All right, so one of the steps we approached in solving Chief Abiola's problem by introducing modern approach, which is cloud computing. The first thing we did was cloud migration. All right, migration. We migrated Chief Abiola's team to the cloud, and we were able to do this using certain services. All right, and we made mention that there are several cloud service providers, Okay, so several companies or organizations can provide cloud services. All right, so popular ones include GCP, AWS, and Azure. this is a recap of what we did in previous sessions. We made a gentle introduction to IAM, Identity and Access Management. That is one of the popular services available on the cloud. And you were introduced how to use that service. You were taught how it works, the benefits. In fact, I taught you that service as one of the notable service on the cloud because that is the best way to use the cloud. Security should always be your first approach. Okay? Security should always be your first approach. We introduced a lot of security best practices like defense in depth, privilege, and least privilege, even though I did not mention them, but I taught you how it works, right? Now, over time, I will introduce them properly so that you will understand when someone mentions the word least privilege or defense in depth, what do they mean? Okay, so these are cybersecurity terminologies, but I mean, it's in terms of securing our services, applications, or workload on the cloud, we need to secure them using best practices, okay, which is one of them I just mentioned, two of them I just mentioned, okay. So today we're moving a step further to show you that there is another service that the modern cloud platform offers. One of them is called storage services. If you remember the benefits of cloud computing, you will know that it helps us to store unlimited information. Now, I'm going to drop this, okay, and assume this to be the cloud. Okay, so let's get this, click here, that's cloud. Okay, I think I see what the problem is. Okay, click on this, click here and say cloud. All right, so this is supposedly the cloud, as it were, all right, the cloud. And this cloud providers are guaranteeing that you can store information here, that anything you do here, they can guarantee something. They can, there's a certain degree of guarantee that your information will not be lost. In other words, the degree of loss is reduced drastically. Okay, I'll say it again. Cloud service providers guarantee you that the degree of loss is reduced drastically. So whether there is a disaster or not, if you store, I as achiever, if I store Chief Abiola's information on the cloud service providers guarantee that the information will be secure. Okay, it's one of the SLA, okay, service level agreement. It's one of the benefits, the agreements I am provide or I have with the cloud service providers. So it's one of the benefits I am selling to Chief Abiola, okay, and that is the more reason why I'm going to place a lot of demand or I'm going to increase my bill, okay, when I am presenting a what is it called, a bill to him, right? When I'm going to be creating a bill to charge Chief Abiola, one of all those benefits accrue to the reason why it's going to be higher than normal. Okay, friends, let me let me go lower a little bit and use some simple examples that you all can remember and relate with. Okay, now you will agree with me that information is what we deal with. Okay, we all have we all use information, right? And informations are usually stored in files. Okay. So information is just something that's important to us. Okay. Information is something important. Why I use the word something, not necessarily something, but it's, do I say a piece of data or a processed data? I'm not trying to go from the data analyst perspective right now, okay? Because we can have different types of data and in different states, raw, processed, and so on and so forth. But I don't want to go into that, okay? So information is something important to us, okay? So we have a piece of information. Now, in recent times, we store information where? Inside a file, all right? We store information inside a file, okay? That's where we usually store information, inside a file. Now, you agree with me that sometimes these files can be deleted, these files can be altered or modified, okay? Now, in the olden days, right, there are different ways informations are being passed across. Okay. In the olden days, in other words, earlier times, there are different phases of development we've transited over the years. The way information is being passed across. Okay. I may not remember the whole history, but I know there was a time whereby if you want to pass across information. Let me use this analogy. A king wants to pass an important information to another king in a different kingdom. What the king usually do is to write the information on the palm or on the body. They just inscribe information on the body of the servant, okay, or the messenger. And when they write the information on their physical body, then the messenger starts running or moves to the next kingdom. And then he just removes his clothes, right? Once he removes his clothes, he shows the king and they read the information there on his body. That is how they transfer information from one point to another point, right? Now, over time, that was not sustainable anymore because um, as the technology began to evolve, right? As innovation, creativity, things began to evolve, right? Human beings found different ways to really to transfer or to share information. Do you understand? So it moved on, maybe, of course, different phases, but we got to a phase whereby we now transfer information. They use birds, animals, right? So they write down information on a piece of paper, okay, then put it on a bird, maybe a parrot, or say put it on the bird, and the bird will fly over to one particular town or location or king or so, and then you collect the document and you read it. Okay, so now these are information stored and transfer. So information is stored in a medium and the information is transferred. If you understand these analogies so far, please can you type yes on the comment section? Okay. If you understand these analogies I'm using so far, please type yes if you understand and can relate with my examples, just to be sure we're all on the same page. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, good. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. All right, so let's proceed. So we moved on over the years. So people started creating exercise books, right? So people write on a piece of paper or they create an exercise book that stores information in different leaves or pages, right? Now, over the years, from different forms, we now moved on to using computer systems to store information. Okay, we moved on to storing information in computer systems. Now, this was made possible using database management systems. Okay, now, friends, after we use database management systems, information are being stored there. Okay, now the capacity of storing that information is largely dependent on the size of your computer system. Okay? If the size of your computer system, of your computer storage is small, the kind of information you can store with the database will be smaller, right? But the larger the computer storage, the bigger. Now, cloud providers came in and say, you know what? Storage is not the problem. We have enough space. Give us your information. We can guarantee that no matter the size of information you want to store, we have the database to store it. And not just that, your information will be secure. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the progression. Let's do a quick recap again based on the examples I have used. So, the first example, let's say the first examples I used is um, body transcription, or so if you have a better name, please let me know, all right? So, but I just call it body transcription. So now we have another one. So the next one I talked about is um birds, use of birds. Okay, the use of birds to transform the inf. Then the next one I talked about is, apart from use of bird, we talked about pages or pages. Yeah, pages in exercise books, or let's just, okay, yeah, pages in books. Good, in books. Then we now have DBMS. Okay, database management system. That's what DBMS means. Okay, I hope you understand that. So then we now have what is a core? Cloud storage. Okay. Okay, so this is the progression. Okay, of course, I know that some things must have happened in between and so on and so forth, but I'm using analogies that you can relate with. Okay, so there was a certain time where information was written on people's bodies. Okay, and you have to, once you write it on people's body, so the person has to move to a particular, to the person they wrote it, and the person has to read it. Okay, then we moved on to the next stage where it's no longer that method. We now use birds, okay, to transfer the information. Right now, over time, we moved on to storing the information inside pages when we started creating the first paper. Okay, so I think this should be paper instead of pages. Okay, papers, papers in books, right? So after we have papers in books, we moved on. So those papers were no longer reliable. Okay, let me even tell you something that happened. So those days when they used papers in exercise book. So there was this case that happened whereby if you go to some police stations, you're going to see a lot of files, right? You're going to see you see huge files on the desk of these officers. The same thing in hospitals and so on and so forth. A lot of civil of organizations, right? You see a lot of files there. So law firms, courtroom firms, and the rest of them. So now what happened in the police station is this. So they had a lot of files there. So so someone committed a crime, right? So they documented everything on the paper and drop it in the file, like in a book. You all know the file I'm referring to, right? Used in to document information, right? Now, guess what happened? So because the person that was arrested um was to be brought to court, right? The next day, they decided to go burn the desk or the office where the files were being stored. Do you understand? So they decided to burn the office, the entire building where the files were being stored. And because they were paper, right? There was no file anymore. to use for the when they asked the police officers when they came to court that about the files for the case. The officers complained. They were like they narrated what happened, that they are still trying to put together the files because the office where they stored the files got burned, and that was how they canceled the case. Like they didn't have substantial information, or they didn't have enough evidence to prosecute the case, so this person was discharged and acquitted. You understand? So we've seen one of the lapses of what happened here. Of course, you see that there's progression here, right? Now, but when we started using DBMS, which is database management systems, okay? Example is Microsoft Access, Microsoft Excel, okay? So these are database management systems. Maybe you've not used it before, that's okay, all right? So we use it to store information, all right? We use it to store information in tables, in different objects, tables, forms, reports. And these objects can be organized in rows and columns. Okay, so you can store it, and you can even read the information. You can search the information inside a database object, a table. Okay, now I don't want to go into all this, but there was a lot of benefits for database management system. It was no longer manual. Okay, and the beautiful thing is that you can even save the file in your flash drive. Okay, if you finish working on a file on your database system, you can have a backup copy on your flash drive. Okay, and if anything happens, you take the flash drive to another computer and slot it and get the data. You understand? Now, but there was a lot of limitation with this one, okay? Because even what about the backup or the flash drive can be destroyed, can be stolen. You understand? Now, the system, the computer system where this database management system, this is a software actually, okay? I hope this makes sense. So this is a software. If you've heard about Oracle before, Oracle software, that is a database management system. If you've heard about SQL Server, maybe you've not heard about it, but these are popular softwares. You can always use Google to say popular, you can say types of DBMS. You're going to see MySQL Server, Oracle, Postgres, and the rest, MongoDB. You see, these are examples of DBMS. You can always click and see more about it. All right. So, but wait, you see, not necessary. Let's see. What are the types of DBMS we have? Now, I don't want it to tell us the difference. Four examples of DBMS. Good. MySQL, PostgreSQL, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle Database, SQLite. You see, these are database server softwares or database management system softwares. Okay, friends, this is how we got to this stage. And I told you that this is a computer that runs this software. And you agree with me that this computer has storage space, just like every computer has storage space. If you come here, you see this storage space. My computer is 1 TB, but I've used it up till it's blinking red, and you see it's 14 GB I have left. Okay, I actually have two other extra drives, but they are all filled with so many information. You understand? Now, so if for any reason my computer crashes, it means that the data stored here will be lost. So these were the problems that the cloud service providers saw and decided to solve it. You understand? So they, with their data centers and the huge kind of computers they use, storing data was no longer the problem. So they can help you to store information. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to AWS. Okay? This brings us to AWS S3. Okay? AWS S3. This is what we'll be focusing on. Okay? This is Amazon Web Services, and S3 simply means what? Simple. Okay. Does anybody know from the comment section? If you know, can you type it on the comment section? Let's see. Okay, somebody said virus. Good. I understand your example, Joan David. Thank you so much. Thank you. I understand that your example. Virus can actually affect it too. So anybody knows the full meaning of the word S3? Can you tell me, give me an example? Give me an example. Anybody from the comment section? Simple storage service. Okay, good. Do I say assume that some people had to use Google as fast as possible? Ah, I got you. I saw you. Even though I'm not there with you, but it's great. Thank you so much for trying, guys. Thank you. So it's simple storage service. Okay. Some of you that are already familiar with it. So it's called simple storage service. Okay. So that's the full meaning of S3. So AWS has funny names. Okay. S3. So the S is three places. So they approximated the S to three. So that's what they call it S3. So simple. So if you watch here, you see Amazon Simple Storage Service, SSS. So S raised to power 3. Not raised to power anyway, but it's just S3. This is how it is. Okay? So this Amazon S3 service is what AWS uses as their storage service. There are so many other storage service on AWS, but this is the most popular and reliable storage service that AWS has. Is one of their first services, if not, okay, let's do it together. AWS first service is SQS. Let's say after SQS. Let's see. Let's see. What was the first? Okay. What? Let me see. When was S3 released? Okay. Let's see. 2012. Okay. So, but AWS were the first people that started doing anything that has to do with storage service. Okay, even though this was 2012. Okay, so they were the first people that started using storage services. Okay, although there were some people that were using it in one way or the other. Back then, we had services like Dropbox. Okay, Dropbox. Some of you have heard about Dropbox. Some of you have heard about Google Drive. Some of you have heard about OneDrive. It is similar to S3. It's an example of a cloud storage service. Okay? But they are not from AWS. I'll take it again. Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive. OneDrive is for Microsoft. Dropbox is for a company called Dropbox, obviously. So if you come here, you can type Dropbox. Okay? So you see, this is the company. Is a company, right, based in the US, and it's used for storing information, backup files in the cloud. For those of you who has iCloud or iPhones, I'm sure you're familiar with iCloud. Okay? If you're familiar with iCloud, you know that it's used to store information. So we have iCloud, Google Drive, Gmail, OneDrive. These are storage, cloud storage services. I hope this makes sense. These are cloud storage services. Okay. So AWS uses AWS S3. It's used to store information. Okay. So there are a lot of things we will be doing. So I think this will be the best time to start doing practical. I want to make this as practical as possible. Okay. So the first thing that we'll be considering a whole lot of things in this our learning. Okay, let me just remove this. So we'll be considering a whole lot of things. So the things we'll be considering will be creating. Oh, sorry, no. All right, so let's click on this. Okay, good. Click on this. Okay. Bucket creation. We'll talk about, so The first thing we'll talk about is bucket creation. Next thing we will talk about is going to be okay, we'll talk about bucket static website hosting, and we'll also talk about, let's say, bucket versioning. Okay, we'll talk about bucket versioning. We'll talk about bucket replication. We'll talk about bucket. I'm going to increase it. Please don't worry. In case you can't see it now, I'm going to increase the size. Bucket life cycle here, life cycle. So these are the many features. Okay, these are the problems amongst many features and problems that S3 provides and helps S3 to stand out from Dropbox. Okay, so I mentioned a lot of them. So I can come here and say examples of cloud storage services. So you can just go to images. You're going to see a lot of them. Okay, so um, let's copy this image and come here. So paste this here. Okay, good. So good. So you can see all the cloud storage services. Okay, so we want to see one of the benefits that S3 has over some of the services here. Okay, so these, amongst many others, are the features of AWS S3. Okay, remember, this is a storage service. Okay, it's one of the services we will be using for Chief Abiola's product. Okay, so in this order, we will be touching these 5 features of AWS S3. Okay, there are many others, but we'll focus on this. We might not exhaust all this here so that I don't rush. The most important thing is understanding. Okay, so we still have another session on S3, okay, which is going to be on Wednesday. Okay, so but we are going to touch this and make sure you understand it. Okay, even if I can do the first 2, I'm good. All right. So let's take it one step at a time and build upon this. Okay, so the first thing we have here is what? Bucket creation. Now, you may be wondering, what do I mean by bucket creation? In fact, why did I choose the word bucket? Now, the word bucket is AWS do I use the word nomenclature now, or that's the name AWS use to refer to a container? All right. Let me use an analogy for you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if this is your house, right, you will agree with me that your house has different compartments. Okay, your house have the living room. Your house also has the bedroom. Your house also have the convenience room, and then there's also maybe let's choose this. Your house also have the kitchen. Okay, so this is the kitchen. So let's label it. So let's say this is the kitchen. Sorry, let's click on this. Click on this kitchen. Kitchen. Okay. So the next thing we have here, we call this the bedroom. Let's call this the living room or sitting room, whichever one, depending on different people. So, or let's just call this the living room. or what some people call the parlor, right? So, right, good. So we now have, sorry, pick this. We now have this, which we can call the convenience or the toilet. Yeah, or bedroom. Let's call that bedroom, which is almost the same thing, but I'm sure you all get the example. So this is the house, okay? So this is your house, okay? Your house. So I want you to liken this your house to be AWS or the AWS S3. Okay, this is your house. Okay, now if this is your house, you have different kinds of things, right? Now, in your house, you can have different compartments. Okay, so one of the compartments is called a kitchen. Okay, in this kitchen, you can have a cupboard in it, or you can have different drawers or cupboard. Okay, there's something called cupboard or drawers. Now, drawers can be here, can be here, can be here. It can also be here, depending on how you choose to design it. Okay, now you will agree with me that thing you call a drawer or a cupboard, right? You can put different kinds of things inside. Okay, you can have a cup that contains, for instance, if this is your kitchen, your your cupboard, right, can have a what is okay, let's use a practical image here. So I'll just come here and say kitchen cupboard. Okay, beautiful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a good deal we have here. So if you watch this cupboard, what comes to your mind? If you look at this cupboard, you're going to see different containers, especially this. This is where I want you all to pay rapt attention. So this is a container, and inside this container, you have oranges inside. Okay, so different containers with different things inside, different containers with different things inside. Is that true? So, friends, I want you to, on this example that we have here, okay? This example we have here, I want you to use that to depict the AWS S3, okay? I want you to use that to depict the AWS S3, okay? So, in the AWS S3, okay? In the AWS S3, you have what we call, so let's, or let's do this. Select this, delete it, select everything here, Control D, and pull it down here. Okay, good. So let's relate it to S3. This is S3, right? So, so if this is AWS S3, right? So you can have something we call a container. Okay, so what we call container inside this kitchen, right? We can call this. So this is a kitchen. So first of all, first of all, if this is AWS S3, I want you to see that these are different locations. Is it not true? Now, so I want you to call this bedroom, bathroom. So I want you to address these things as called region. Region. Okay. I want you to use the word region. Okay. So I'm going to change this and say bedroom region. Okay. So take note of the keyword there, region. So let's choose this, Control D. I say kitchen region, Control D, region, sorry, region. Okay, so AWS does not use the word bedroom or living room. AWS uses the word region. So in every region, you can create what we call containers. Okay, in every region, you can create what we call containers. Okay, so let's assume that this is one of the region. Okay, so let's come here and do something like this. Okay, undo. So this is what I want to do so you can understand this better. So I'm going to expand this and say in this region, kitchen region, or in a particular region called kitchen, I can have different drawers, okay? Or I can have different containers. So I want you to see this as a container, okay? So what you call a container is what AWS calls buckets, okay? You see this bowl here or cup, which you use in I'm sure people who cook in the house, the males, females, those who cook, you know that your cupboard, you have a cup or a container for your what is it called, your ingredients, right? You have a container for your Maggi, you have your container for your salt, you have a container for different containers for different kinds of things you can relate, right? So each container can have different things inside. Please, that's what I want you to get. So in this example, we have two containers here, okay? So two containers here. So I want you to always refer to this container as buckets. Okay? I want you to refer to this container as what? Buckets. So that's what AWS calls a bucket. Sorry, let me change this. So this, so that's what let's change this. I'm sure you all understand the picture I'm trying to paint. So pardon my illustration. So the most important thing is that you can relate with the examples that I'm doing. So these two buckets, these two things that I call container is what AWS calls buckets. Okay. So this is what AWS calls a bucket. Do you understand? This is what we call a bucket. So let's take it again. So this is AWS S3 service. And in every S3 service, there's what we call region. Okay? Region, region, region. Okay? So you choose a particular region. First thing you need to do is to choose what? A region. I'll take it again. The first thing okay, so let's take the steps. First, step one, choose AWS service. AWS S3 service. Okay, so I'll expand this. So the first thing we did is to choose the AWS service. The second thing we do is to choose the region. Do you understand? Choose the region. So in this case, we choose the region. Is it the bedroom? Is it the living room? Just choose a region. Okay. So I'm going to still explain more on this. So when you choose the region, the next thing you do is to in that region that you choose, you create a bucket. Okay. You create a bucket. Now, inside the bucket, you can now create your files. You can now create your files, but AWS call those files objects. Okay, so either you create or upload. So we use the word upload your objects, which is also called files. Okay, so these are the steps we will use in creating a bucket with files inside. So let's do the practicals first of all. So once we get the practical, then we'll come and run through this to be sure we all got it. Okay, so let's do this as fast as possible. So I'll click here and go to AWS and try to sign in quickly. Let's sign in. Let's try to sign in. Okay, good. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, all we need to do is on the search bar, we click here and type S3. Okay, you type S3 here. Okay, or you can click on services here and go to what is it called? You can see this is one of the frequently visited services that I use. Okay, so if you come here, you can look for what is it called? Storage. Okay, you're going to see S3. It's a scalable storage in the cloud. Scalable in the sense that it can expand. It has the capacity to store as many information as you want. Okay, and it can also store little information as simple as a file of 1 kilobyte. It will store. Okay, it's scalable. That's what it means. Okay, good. So we will choose the S3 service. Okay, so either you click on this or you choose it anywhere. Now, once you choose the S3 service, first of all, friends, I know I did not mention this before, but I want to use this opportunity to talk about it. Now, if you watch here, you're going to see something we call region. Remember what we said here, choose the AWS S3 service. The next step is what? Choose the region. If you come here, you're going to see region. Okay, so now what does this mean practically? Practically, every one of us that is creating S3 service, you need to consider the location, okay, or neighborhood. All right. Let me use a better example to relate with what we are doing for Chief Abiola. The question is this: we want to store Chief Abiola's product application logs or data or something inside S3 service, right? Now the question is this: the customer that wants to use the service, okay, depending on what you want to store, okay, in the bucket, right? The closer you are to that region or location, the faster, okay, the faster you get access to it. Okay, the faster the access. The closer you are to the region, the faster the access. I'll take it again. The closer you are to any of this region, the faster the access. So if Chief Abiola's clients are in US East 1, which is East region, we're going to choose this. Okay, so some persons are in Nigeria, although it's not active here. So I think there's some things you need to do. Okay, so you will need to place some request and so on, but you can give it a try first of all. So if you watch here, you're going to see that in Africa, this is South Africa. Okay, so there's Cape Town, right? I think there's one in Lagos. I don't know if it's I think they had plans. I don't know if it's now fully in Lagos. I don't know, but that's in Nigeria for Nigeria. But in Africa, those the closest one so far is what we can see here. This is the only African region that we have here. And if Chief Abiola's clients are in Africa, I will have to click on this. And of course, it's going to tell is disabled right now. So I will need to place a request and know why or see AWS will do something about it. Okay. So, but for this analogy, we want to assume that maybe our customers is in London. Okay. London, Europe. Okay. So the closer your customers are to the location, to this region, the faster they can access the information you store in it. Does this make sense? So the distance from Nigeria to London is farther than the distance from Nigeria to Canada. I'm sure you all know this. Okay. Nigeria is closer to some African countries, some African countries than it is from to America. So if your customers are in Africa, you don't want to create a bucket that is located far away in the US. I hope this is making sense now. So this is what we refer to as region. So if you understand everything I just said about region, please can you type yes on the comment section just to be sure? Can you type yes on the comment section? Okay. Okay, good. 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 Thank you, friends. Thank you. I'm glad you all understand and it's making sense. I'll try to increase the fonts, Mr. John, okay? I saw your message. I'll try to increase it when we get there. Okay, so now you've understood what I meant by region. So in this example, we're using this. If you notice, by default, it's always here because this is the first region that AWS started with, and it's more reliable. In fact, anytime AWS releases a new service, if AWS releases a new service, okay, and they choose to call it S4, okay, or they call it Achiever, any service amongst the 200 or 300 service they have, the first place or region they will launch the service is in US East 1. So, friends, this is deviating, but I want you all to know that some services are region scoped. I'm using technical terminologies now, okay? I'm using cloud terminologies now. I'll say it again. Some services are what region scoped. Okay, in other words, there is a service you will see in a particular region. If you go to another region, you may not see the service there. I hope this is clear. That's what I meant, okay, by region scoped, okay. But in this example, S3 is what? A global service. I'll say it again. Excuse me. S3 is what? A global service. In other words, if you switch from one region to another region, you will always see S3 there. And that's why you can see all AWS region. Okay, so AWS S3 is available in all AWS regions. Okay, so there are some services that are not available in other regions. I hope this makes sense to you all. Okay, let's move on. So now we want to use, okay, just to keep it very simple so that I don't litter things around, I'll just leave it here. Now, it's very important you know and you are careful of the region you are choosing. If you choose to switch from one region to another region and you create a bucket, please remember to switch to the region to delete it, because sometimes empty buckets, even though you don't use it, you don't put anything inside, you can always be charged for it. Okay? So just take note of that, especially if you're not using a free tier. For now, some of you using free tier, you don't have any problem with it. Okay? You will not be charged because you're still using the free tier. But after 12 months, what happens? So you want to imbibe best practice as you are learning. Okay, good. So we are choosing what? US East. Okay, don't forget that. US East is what we choose, which is North Virginia. Okay, take note of that. US East, North Virginia. So US East 1, US East 2. These are all US regions. Okay, just like in Nigeria, we have the North, the South, the East, and the West. So I want you to see this as the 4 regions in the US. Okay, and these are the names they call it. All right, and this is specific names. Okay, so as much as I'm being careful not to talk about regions and data centers, because sometimes you see US is 1A, US is 1B, US is 1C. Okay, you can have as much as 3 to 6 data centers in a particular region. I've told you what a data center is. If you don't understand this, please, you can drop the question at the later end of the program. I will clarify you. Okay, so this is a region. Okay, so let's move on. Now, to create a bucket, so these are the buckets I have right here. Okay, so in most cases, if you've not created any bucket before, you see something like create a bucket here. You see some information telling you what S3 is, and you see this kind of bucket button telling you create a bucket. Good. So all you need to do is to click here. These are the buckets I have already created, and it tells me the regions where those buckets are located. All right, good. So this is just an analyzer trying to analyze which of the user has access or has accessed the bucket using an IAM feature. And this is the date it was created. Okay, let's click on create bucket. I'll click on this. Now, to create a simple bucket, remember the region, I've chosen the region automatically. Is that true? So if you click here, you can always switch from one region to another and it will update here. Good. Now, I'm just going to leave it. Everything is going to be default. Okay. Now we're going to move to the next important thing called bucket name. When we are creating a bucket, what kind of names do we use? Okay, when we are creating a bucket. Now, these rules are very important. Okay, the bucket name must be unique in this region. So in this region, you must use a unique name. For instance, if my name is Achiever Frederick, okay, it's possible somebody else has already created a bucket with this name. Okay, so AWS tries to make every bucket unique as in regards to a region. So you need to be very careful. Okay. So now one of the rules, you can see all the rules here, but there are so many rules. One of them is there is no uppercase. So I cannot start this thing with an uppercase. If I change this thing to A, if I click out of it and I try to create this bucket. So watch, if I just come down here and say create bucket, watch what's going to happen. You're going to see that it gives me an error. Must not contain uppercase. Okay, so bucket name does not contain uppercase. It must not contain an IP address. Do you understand? you are going to learn more about what an IP address is later on in the program, okay? But just know that for now, your name must not be an IP address. For example, you want IP address is something like 1.1.1.1. You understand? Can you see? It resembles an IP address. So your name must not be something like this. Okay. So it must not be capital letter. It must not be an IP address. It must not have underscore. So if I come and say, let's say store underscore me. So it contains an invalid character this. So you can check those rules so that you see them. Okay. Remember, I told you it needs to start with a lowercase. Okay. Good. Now, the last important thing you need to understand is that it must contain between 3 to 60 something character long. Okay. If you just have only 2, it will tell you it's between 3 and 63 characters long. So please read this so that you can understand. Now, one of the approach I use in creating my bucket name is to simply come here and say, let's say I call it lemon. Okay, lemon. Let's say lemon app, lemon bucket. Maybe that's what I want to call it. Okay. Now, as much as I have used this, it said bucket name must not contain uppercase letter. Yes, you see that? I'll reduce this to lemon bucket. What did you see here? This name already exists. So somebody's using this name. So one of the things I usually do, if I put a dash, you see, but must not contain a dash. What I do is I put the date, today's date. Today's date is what? 26th. Okay, so I'll just come here and say 26th. If you put slash, it does not accept it as well. 26/08/2024. There's no way I believe somebody has created this. This is one way of making it unique. I hope this makes sense to everybody. Okay, now we've gotten how to create a bucket name. Come down. Don't worry about this ACL. Okay, so ACL's disabled recommended. So there's something called ACL, which determines the rules on who can access what. You understand? Don't worry about this. We might not touch this, but at this level, just relax. Okay. It's usually during cloud security things I touch them, but let's just leave it at this. We've given the bucket a name. Now, this is the third section down here. This section called block public access setting. Please just uncheck this. All right. Don't worry about this. Just uncheck it. Okay. Now, notice that when it's checked, everything is blocked. But if I uncheck it, it's going to tell me, young man, you're trying to turn off everything, which means you want to give people access to this bucket. Okay. So are you sure? Okay. Yes. If you are sure, all right, please approve it so that if anything happens, you'll be held responsible. I'll say, okay, I acknowledge. Do you see that? Good. Now, the next thing we have here is bucket versioning. Okay. Right now, we don't want to do anything about versioning, so I'll leave it the way it is. Okay. Everything will be left the way they are. You see? So let's start from the beginning. I didn't touch anything. The region is there. General purpose is what I chose. I gave it a name, a unique name. All right, a unique name. Then I left it at recommended. Okay, this is recommended. So I'll scroll down. That's all. I didn't touch anything at this level. Okay, we're still learning. So what do? I'll come here and click what? Create bucket. So what did you see here? Successfully created a bucket. And this is the name of the bucket. So this bucket is also called a container. So just to use the GUI. So this is what I mean. For instance, let's say I have this folder here, right? And this folder showcases most of the things I do, both for the trainings I have, the cloud engineering trainings, the cloud security trainings, my cybersecurity trainings, you understand, and the DevOps students trainings and the rest of them. So these are specific folders. Do you understand? Now, if I want you to see this folder, okay, or see this as a bucket, all right? And inside this bucket, I can have different folders. And inside it, I can have a file, okay? Now, if you come here, day 4, you're going to see some things inside. Okay, so these are things inside. So I want you to see that bucket as a container. that can store different things. Remember the analogy we used here. Okay, if you remember this, you understand that these are buckets and you can store different things inside, just like we have inside here. So we've done the first three. Choose AWS service, choose the region. We've created the bucket. The last thing we need to do is to upload our files, which AWS calls buckets, objects rather. Okay, a file is also called what? Objects. So S3 can be used to store pictures, videos, any type of file you can imagine. Okay, any type of file you can imagine. Okay, take note of that. It's very, very important. And you don't have to worry about space. So let's come here. So this is the bucket we created, which is lemon bucket. Is it not true? Good. So of course I can select this, and of course I can delete it. What I just created, I can delete it. All right. So, but we're going to click on it. All right. So when I click on it, it opens. Now, what did you see here? It says no objects. All right. No objects. Now, we need to upload objects into this bucket, just like saying we need to upload files into this bucket. Okay, so you can click here or you can click here, whichever one does the job. Now, for now, don't worry about this buttons here, neither about these tabs. Notice that inside this bucket, there are different tabs here. Okay, the only tab we are focusing on is what? Objects. Okay, which is another name for files. Okay, so we will want to upload files right now. So if I click on upload, it's going to pop up and you see this page rather. Okay, so it's telling me that I can add files and folder. So if you want to add files, you can choose this. If you want to add a folder, you can choose this. I hope this is making sense to everybody. Good. So now let's see. Because it's lemon app we want to. So I'll come here and just say lemon types. I'll come here and just click this and click images. So let's say we have different images. So I'm going to download a few. So I'll just right click this and say save image as. So let's create a folder here. And on my PC, this is on my PC, right? So I'll just choose. I hope this doesn't confuse anybody right now. So I'm just going to say S3-images. Okay, you mustn't do the same thing. Just look for anywhere you have images. Okay, so I just want to store the image I'm downloading into this location. Okay, so I'll call this which of them are we downloading right now? So let's see this one, right? So this looks weird. So I'll just call it first lemon. Okay, so I will save it inside here. Okay, so now let's choose this one. So I'll right click this, save image as, then I'll call it second lemon. All right, so I'll click on save. Now, what do we want to do? So this is our S3. Is it not true? We want to add those files inside S3. What do we do? Did you see add files? You can click on add files. Okay, so it's telling us to go to the location where we want to save, where we want to pick the files. I'm sure this is simple enough for everybody. So from my experience, if I click here, I can go to pictures. Did you see that? Pictures. So if I click on this, I'll come here and then I'll look for S3 images. Did you see that? So I can just choose this and then you see this. So I can actually select both of them. Okay, and then click on open. Did you see both of them? Now I can scroll down. Please scroll down. If you watch here, you're going to see permissions. Okay, for this example, or you know what? Let me select this one and remove it. Watch. Let's take it one step at a time. I'll show you something. So I'll select this one and remove it. So this is the first one, right? So this is just one. So I'm going to click on permissions. Did you see that? Permissions. Now, if you watch here, it said this bucket has the bucket owner enforced setting applied for. So use bucket policies to control. So right now, okay, let's see, bucket owner enforced. Okay. I enabled something there. So, but I'll just click on upload. So if I click on this, it's going to upload the picture. So as you can see, this is uploaded. Okay, this is uploaded. So I can click on this, close. Okay, if I close, you see that this has come here. So this, can you notice that tab called objects? This is what we have here. So you can click on buckets and go back. You see, this is the bucket. So if you click on it, you see there's only one object inside, which is this. It's just like creating a folder and putting files inside. I'm sure you all can relate. The only difference is that S3 uses different names and different approaches. Okay, so I wanted you all to understand it. That's why. Okay, so we're going to talk about storage classes later. But for now, let's keep everything very simple. So this is it. Now, so how do you view this, what is it called? This object. Okay, so I'll click on this. So we've successfully uploaded it, right? So if you want to share this image with somebody, right? What do? You click on it. Is it not true? Now, nothing happened. Friends, so who can answer me? If I click on this, was I supposed to see the picture? This is the name of the picture, right? If you click on it, was I supposed to see the picture? Yes or no? From the comment section, yes or no? Can we use so yes or no? Okay. Somebody say no, somebody say yes. Okay. Mixture. Okay. Yes, no, yes, no. Okay. So now if you watch here, let's come here. So notice that when I click on it, I could not see it. So AWS has another approach. So what AWS tells you is they just show you, so it's an object. Okay. So they show you different information about this object. Okay. Now, as you can see, you see the key, you see the type, and so many things. The most important thing you should just pay attention to, this is what we call object URL. So if you want to share it with somebody, this is what you share with them. So you copy this, and if you want to view it, you come here and paste this. Now it's possible you won't see anything. So if I hit enter now, you're going to notice it tells me what? Access denied. This is the beauty of AWS S3. So we've been able to create a bucket and we've uploaded files inside. Now you may be wondering, but we're supposed to see it now, but why is it access denied? Well, not that's one of the benefits of S3. Imagine when you create a Google Drive here, right? And you put something inside here. You agree with me that when you put it here, if you want to share it with somebody in Google Drive, I'm sure you all know this. You click here and say what? Share. Is it not true? Once you click on share, you can decide who should have access to it. Is it not true? You can put the person's name or email. Is it not true? Or you can make it open to anyone. Okay. So, but by default, if I copy this link and give you, you will be restricted. That's exactly the same thing. That's the default behavior of every object stored inside a bucket. So how do we make this accessible? Okay. One way is to click on permission. Did you see permission? Permission. So you can come down here. Okay. So these are different things here. Right now, you see this is not even editable. Okay. Now, if you click here, look here carefully. There are different things here. Okay. Now we can't make this up. So what we're supposed to do is to make this public. Do you understand? Make public using ACL. But right now, we can't do anything here. Okay, so why? Because by default, we choose the recommended approach that AWS chose when we're creating the buckets. So right now we cannot see it. Take note of that. Right now we cannot see it, except when the bucket owner enforced is applied. So if I click on this, it's going to come here and I can click on this. You see that? This is the recommended, but if I click on this right now and come here and let's see. So if I just click on this, okay, I need to acknowledge this and click on this. So this is one way, one thing I just did. Then the next thing I need to do, there are different things we can do, okay? But let's come here. So this is ACL. I hope this is not confusing for you all. But first of all, let's click here. If you check here and reload this, you notice you still cannot see anything. That is intentional. Now, if you come here, this is access control list, and you click on edit, It was not active before, but because I enabled it. So right now, this is public access. I can click here and click here. So this is public for everybody. I can say, I understand. Scroll down and click Save Changes. Did you see that? So if you come here, reload this, you see, this is still denied. Now, there are still some settings I need to do. Now, right now, okay, let's click on edit this, okay? No, this is open already. Let's cancel this. Let's see. List, read objects. Okay, so this is the object ownership. If I click on this, let me see. I need to choose this. Let me see. Hold on, let's see. Okay, let's come here. Okay. Now, I think because of the ownership of this file, the person who this account who it belongs to, because of that, that's one of the reasons why I can be able to adjust this for now. Please, friends, watch me. I'm going to create another bucket, but this time around, watch the approach I'm going to use to upload the second image. So I'm going to click here. If you're wondering what I did, I just selected S3 and I opened it, or you can click here and select buckets. It's going to show you something like this. You say create buckets. It's the same thing. So I'm going to use this and say, it can be any name. I'll say beautiful, no dash, beautiful bucket. The name, the date is what? 26/08/2024. Okay, good. So now I'm going to choose this. Okay. So I'm going to, instead of using this, I'm going to choose this. Okay. I'm going to choose this. Don't forget, if you don't want to be having those errors, choose this. Okay. Choose this. Okay. Now, leave everything the way it is. Okay. So you can come here and you can open this. Okay. Come down, acknowledge this, and leave everything the way it is. Yeah. Good. And create the bucket. Okay, good. So if you see, this is the one we just created right now. Okay. So how do we put the bucket? Click on this. We need to upload. Click on upload, add files. Okay. So let's choose the second one. Choose this. Good. So you can scroll down. If you click on permission, you're going to see this. So before this was not showing, right? So just click on this. So did you see grant public read access? Choose this and say, I understand. Scroll down and click on upload. Okay, good. So close this. So this is the object we have inside the bucket. So if you click on this right now, you're going to get this URL. If you copy this and paste this here and hit enter, can we see the bucket, the picture now? Friends, do we understand? Do we understand? Do we understand how to create a bucket and make it visible? So it's the ACL. Okay, so I showed you the first method, which is locked by default. The bucket was locked by default. Okay, so AWS recommends you use ACL, which will lock the object, but I don't want it locked. I want it opened. Do you understand? So I had to show you the different approach. Okay, so that is how to create a bucket. Okay, so that is how it works. If we've all understood this, it means we've done more than 50% of what we plan to do today. So the next important thing I'm going to show you all today is the next service. So let's close some things here. I'll just click on close. Good. So the next thing we intend to touch on today is what? We've learned bucket creation, how to create a bucket, how to store information inside of it. You understand? So everybody knows how to store information inside right now, and everybody knows how to access it. Okay? we know how to upload and how to share. So right now, if I ask you to upload your files to S3, you know how to upload the files inside. So we can upload, what is it called? Okay, let's assume I want, so this is the second bucket, right? This is the bucket. Okay, so if, or you can click on this to get to buckets. Now, if you select this, right? Now, of course, you see, there's no way we can rename this bucket. Once you create a bucket, you cannot rename it. Okay, so as long as you cannot see rename here, you cannot rename it. What I wanted to do was to change it to Chief Abiola's bucket, but let's use the same one. So if I open this right now, I want to upload more things. I can click on upload. Did you see that? So I can say add files. Okay, so I can click on add files, and supposing I want to go to a different location, I can say go to desktop, and then go to Fred, go to trainings, and in all my trainings, you will see cybersecurity. No, let's look for cloud engineering. Let's go to day 4. So this is Chief Abiola's important files they want to store on S3. Okay, Vivian and other people, the HR and the rest of them, they want to store these important files. You can select all of them and click on open. You see, these are the important files. Okay, so you can scroll here. Okay, so right now, if you click on permission, you see that? You do what? Grant public read access. So take note of the kind of files you want to be public. Take note of that. So I'll click on this, scroll down and click what? Upload. So it's going to upload those 3 files. Even if your file is 500 gig, it's going to take the files. Although we've not come to that yet, right? If we have need for it, we might touch that. So you see, these are all the things. Can you see the type? It tells you which type and tells you the date modified. This is how objects work. This is how to create a bucket, upload files, and access it. Okay, let's move on to the next thing I want to talk about, which is the most interesting one, and where some of your experience will be required as a cloud engineer. And once we touch this, we'll wrap up the session. Okay, so this is static site web hosting. Okay, static website hosting. So let's assume that we have a website. So I actually came up with something very simple. Though it doesn't really portray. So if you watch this, what can you see? Chief Abiola's Guess the Fruit game. So let's say this is the gaming app we built for Chief Abiola. Forgive me. Let's say this is what we came up with, right? So, and if you do increase the font, you see, can you guess the name of this fruit? Okay. So Chief Abiola said we should create something, maybe not for big customers, but probably for his children, right? So can you guess the name of this fruit? You come here and say, okay, what if this is orange? And you click on submit, say, oops, try again. So what if you now try apple? You understand? And you click submit, you say correct, it's an apple. You see, it's a guessing game. So this is the code. Everything you see here is the code used in creating this simple game you see here. All right. So I'm going to share it with you all. Okay. So, but this is the simple code you see here. So at this point, you don't need to worry about it. It's a combination of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, so this is CSS for the styling, and there is HTML, and then there's JavaScript, which is the scripting. Okay, so friends, don't worry about all this demonstration. So let's do something very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So we want to upload this and give Chief Abiola. We want to upload Chief Abiola's game app and store it on. So one of the feature or one of the benefits of AWS S3 is that you can configure a bucket to act as a to store and to host static websites. I'll say it again. You can configure a bucket. We've learned how to create a bucket. Is it not true? Upload files and see the files, right? Which is what I showed you all here. So what we are saying is another beautiful feature of the S3 is that you can use that bucket, configure the bucket to host static websites. Okay? When we say static website, it's a simple kind of website or collection of web pages that does not require a database. Let's keep it that short, okay? That does not require a back-end database, okay? That's a static website. We have two types. It could be static website. It could be dynamic website, okay? I hope I didn't confuse you. I really hope I didn't confuse you, okay? So now let me show you how we can configure S3 for static website hosting. Okay, so Chief Abiola has been frustrating us. Frederick Achiever, can you give me? I want to access this application you're building. I have seen it. I like it. Show me. I want to share it with my children. Okay, I'll be like, okay, no problem, Chief Abiola. So the first thing we need to do is this. We've written the code. We've tested it. It's working fine. So all this code, this is the code, right? So what we are going to do on my local PC, first of all, I'm going to create a file here. Okay, I'll right click, or I can do it in different ways anyway. I'll right click here and open with code. Did you see open with code? So it's not a must. You must do it this way. The most important thing is open VS Code, create a file, and store your code inside. Very simple. Okay, so I'll just choose open with code, and it's going to open VS Code. All right. So when it opens VS Code, I'll just create a file here. Okay. Now the name of this file, I'll click on this file here, and you see this. I'll call it index. Take note of the name of the file, index dot what HTML. Does that make sense? I'll hit enter. So this file, see it here. I'll paste all those code. I hope I didn't confuse you. I hope this did not confuse you. Okay. So I just created a file, index.html, and I posted all the code here. So I can come here. Let's modify this title. Don't worry, you don't need to do this again because I'll share the code with you. So I'll say Chief Abiola's fruit guessing game. Okay. So now, so we have the file here. Is it not true? And if you come to this folder, you're going to see the index.html. Good. So let's go to S3 now. We are solving that problem, right? You come to S3, which is this. So we are going to click on buckets, or we just click on S3. So we come here, you see a bucket. So we want to create a bucket that will store Chief Abiola's website gaming app. So I'll click on create bucket. Now it wants to, so Chief Abiola is in the US. I've chosen the region, which is North Virginia, which is US East 1. So you can always choose a region you prefer. Okay, I hope this makes sense to everybody. Now, once you choose the region, everything remains the same. So one approach we usually use is I can come here and say, Chief, I can say Abiola Gaming app.io. Did you see that? I can use .io, I can use .com. Do you understand? I can use .io, I can use .com. So, but this is what we have. Or I can come here and say Chief Abiola Gaming app.io. Did you see that? So now once I type Chief Abiola Gaming app.io, the next thing I need to if let's assume this is the name we want to use for this example, right? So all I need to do is to scroll down here. Okay. If I scroll down here, remember I told you about this. Okay. So I'm going to choose this option. All right. So if I choose this option, I will scroll down. Okay. I didn't touch anything, just this one. And once I scroll down, I will uncheck this. All right. Good. Now, did you see this? I acknowledge. Did you see that? I'll scroll down. You see that? That's all. That's all. Click on create buckets. Okay. So now the next thing I need to do, I've created the bucket, which is this. Can you see? I didn't put any because I know this is going to be a unique name. That's why I chose this. So in case you try your name or any name, it doesn't work for you, don't be angry. Somebody must have taken it. It's no longer unique. You see that Chief Abiola Gaming app.io. So now this is the bucket we created. So I'll click on this bucket and you see there's nothing inside here, right? Good. Now, can we upload the code? Okay. So we need to upload the code. So this is what we need to upload. So if you come here right now, you click on what? upload. Now, but there are different ways to do this. Okay, let's do it this way. If I want to use the static website, okay, I won't touch anything right here. So these are different tabs. Is it not true? Good. So did you see properties here? Properties. Click on properties. Okay. I'm going to choose properties right now. So when you choose properties, you're going to see so many informations. Okay. Bucket versioning, bucket overview, bucket versioning. Let's scroll down gently. Tags, default encryption, intelligent tiering archive configuration. Just scroll to the bottom, this extreme end. You're going to see what? Static website hosting. I hope I didn't confuse you. So how did I get to this place? Scroll up again. Once you create the bucket, you go to the second tab. We were using objects before. Right now we're using what? Properties. I hope this did not confuse you. You can pause the video if you're watching it at a later time and make sure you understand this. I want to believe everybody on this session right now understands. So under the properties tab, I said you should click on this and scroll to the bottom, extreme bottom. You will see what? Static website hosting is currently disabled. All right. So we want to activate that feature of a bucket. All right. Good. So we click what? Edit. All right. Now, what do we do next? If you come here, you need to enable it. All right. It's a feature. So we'll click here, enable. Did you see that? Now, if you click on disable, it goes away. Enable, it comes. Now, we want to host a static website. Okay. We don't want to redirect any request to a object or anything. No, we just want to host a static website, right? Good. Now, come scroll down. Did you notice that this is the next thing we have, index documents, okay? It's telling you to put your index documents or error documents, okay? So you see, there's nothing here right now, okay? Index documents. So it needs, for this website to work, it needs a document that has this name, index.html. Now, it can be any name, okay? But remember, this website, this page we want is where our gaming app is. So ours is what? Index.html. So we have to specify index.html here. So if you change this name, you must always change the name here. I hope that makes sense. So I'll come here and say index.html. I hope that makes sense. Good. Now, sometimes when you visit some website and you go to a wrong page, you'll see some error. Some of you have seen some pages that shows you error pages, something like this. If you do this, you're going to see different kinds of errors. Okay, sometimes you see this, sometimes you see this, sometimes you see this or this. Okay, an error page. Okay, so it's your decision what you want to use. So I'm going to create a page. Okay, so I'll come here and create another page. I'll click here and call it error dot what? HTML. Did you see that? And hit enter. So I can just type something simple. I'll just put H1. So just put something like this and say this page doesn't exist. Okay, yeah, simple. Very simple. This page doesn't exist. I put it in H1 tags. Okay. If you're familiar with the HTML we did in previous session, okay, or you've gone to learn from S3, you understand this. Okay. Even if you don't know it, I'll share this code so you can copy and paste. All right. Good. So friends, if you watch our folder, how many files do we have here? Error.html and index.html. Okay. So let's come to our website. Okay, so we need what? Index document, which is this. Then for the error document, our own error document is with the name error.html. It can be any name, it's not compulsory. So I'll come here and say what? Error.html. Did you see that? Remember, it can be any name, and this is not compulsory, it's optional. Okay, good. So I hope we all understood these two things. Okay, so now I'll scroll down and then click Save Changes. All right. So once I click save changes, once I click on save changes, you notice that it has saved it. Did you see that? Now, friends, we are still on this same page, properties. So but if you scroll to the bottom, friends, what are you going to see? You will notice something here, static website hosting. And you also notice that this application has a, a domain URL at the ending here. You understand? So this was not here before. So this is a website endpoint. Okay, a bucket website endpoint. It was not here before, but because we've enabled this feature, we have it here. So friends, this is what I can send to Chief Abiola. HTTP Chief Abiola Gaming App.io. Okay, .s3. Don't worry about this, but this is an S3 endpoint. This is what it looks like. So I'll copy this and share it to Chief Abiola. I'll come here and paste it. Let me ask a question. If I hit enter, will I see anything? Yes or no? From the comment section. Can I get your feedbacks? Yes or no? Will I see anything? Somebody said yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Somebody said no. All right. So if you said yes, just put your reason. Put your reason. If you say no, put your reason. So just so that it's not monotonous. I want to make it interactive. So I'll know the reasons why you are saying yes. Tell me your reason. Why did you say yes? Why did you say no? Okay? Why did you say yes? The question is, this is the URL. If I hit enter right now, will it display something? Yes or no? Somebody said nothing was uploaded from you to the cloud. Okay, Purple Blessing. Okay, let's see. We have been given a public enabled link. Babatunde said no, you have not pasted the code. Wasi said because you have enabled ACL. Celestine said it's public. Millicent said no, because we have not given access. Osaro said no, the file isn't uploaded. Okay, Victor said no, the gaming app is not uploaded yet. So I think those who said no, well, let's paste the link here. I'll paste the link on the comment section. You click it and find out. So I've shared it right now. So click on it from your end and let me know. Tell me what you see. If it's working, type working. If it's not working, type not working. I've shared the link. So just type working. If it's not working, just type not working so that we'll know. Just click on the link that I just shared right now. Tell me what you can see. Forbidden, okay? Somebody said not working. All right. Not working, not working. Okay, not hosted yet. Okay, beautiful. So the same thing, if I hit enter right now, you see, this is 403 forbidden. Okay, so this is a different kind of error. Okay, now, and you all that said, because I've not uploaded anything, you are correct. You may be wondering how. So remember, this is Chief Abiola's bucket. Is it not true? Scroll to the top. You see, everything we did is on properties. Is it not true? Go to objects. Did you see that objects is still 0? It's just like somebody gave you a link to a folder. So imagine this folder that has videos inside. I deleted these videos, right? Or I have not uploaded videos inside, and I gave you the link to the video. Google might open it for you, but you won't see anything. But AWS does not open it for you. AWS is going to give you an error message and tell you that you don't have access yet. That's why I told you forbidden. Why? Because there's nothing inside. So what we need to do is to upload objects or files inside. I hope that makes sense now. So I'll click on upload and I'll click on add files. So now, even if I upload everything, so I'm going to upload everything, even though I don't need everything, these are the two things it needs, index.html and error. Okay? These are the two things it needs. But I want you to know that even if I upload everything, because I've specified this, is going to use this. Okay? So it's telling you that you can still have many files inside, but when you are configuring your static website, you need to point it to this and to this. I'm sure this makes sense. So I'll click on open. So I've uploaded the whole files. You see that? So come to permission. I'll click on what? Grant public access. I understand. Upload. It's uploading everything. It's uploading everything. It's uploading everything. It's uploading everything. Good. So this is one way. So let's come here. So if I click on this, reload. Did you see? Did it work? Did it work? Did you all understand? So we have a beautiful website to give to Chief Abiola right now. So if I give Chief Abiola this URL now, he should be able to see the application. Anybody, anywhere around the world, if you click that same link now, it's going to be working for you. Please, I hope this makes sense to everybody. So this is where we're going to stop for today, so I don't make this session too lengthy. All right. So, but I'm going to give you a task. So the task is where it matters. Okay. I can make this session lengthier than this, but I'm trying to make sure that I don't make the session too overwhelming for you all. Okay. So now this is where the task lies. Please pay rapt attention. Okay. So you can get it. Now I'm going to point you to something. Okay. Remember, we just discussed two features of the S3 bucket. Don't forget, we just discussed two features, okay, among many features. Let's remove this. If you come here, you say these are the features. We've done one, we've done two. The second one we are supposed to talk about is versioning, okay? Versioning, replication, and life cycle, okay? So, but if I can still teach on versioning, but let me share the assignment, and if you all still suggest that I touch on versioning, I will do that, okay? But let me give you the task first of all. So friends, ladies and gentlemen, if you're still watching my screen, I want you to visit this website called Bootstrap. Let's see, start. Okay, let's choose this. Okay, good. I'm going to share the link, all right? Okay, yeah, so this is good. So can you see clean blog, start Bootstrap? Can you see clean blog? I hope you all can see this. So if I click on launch live preview and click on it, you're going to see something. You're going to see a beautiful blog. All right. This is a beautiful blog. So this is a beautiful blog. If you scroll down, you'll be seeing different kinds of information. I believe every human has a finite number of heartbeats. I don't intend to waste any of mine. Science has not yet mastered prophecy. Failure is not an option. So if you want your users to read on this blog, click on this and you see, they can start reading on it. You see that? Okay. So let's close this. Stop seeing this ad. Not interested. So let's see. Now, so these are the URL there. Okay. Now, of course, you can still remove this, but for now, you can always go back to the home page. So if you click on this, it will take you back to the home page. So this is what I want you to do. Now, this will require a lot of editing and experience from you, but I just want to see what you can do with your interaction and just working together as a team. Okay. So I want you all to just go to this website called Clean Blog. Okay, I'm going to share the theme. Okay. Let me share the link. I'll paste it. So I've shared the link. All right. So if you come here, you're going to see the link. Now, friends, if you watch, you may be wondering, if you click on, take notes? Did you notice this is free? Don't click on upgrade. Don't upgrade. Even if you have so much money, I encourage you, please. I can always point you to one means, or you can register for one of my private programs. Okay. So, except you, if you want to encourage the creator, that's fine. Of course, you can upgrade. Okay. But this is very free. Just click on free download. Okay. So once you click on this, it's going to start downloading this. As you can see, it's downloading it. All right. You see, this is it. It's downloading it. Now, once you download it, go to the location. You're going to see some folders there. HTML, CSS. So all those files are what you're going to upload to your buckets. That's the only clue I can give you for your task. So where I want you to put creativity is, I want you to start documenting your blogs I want you to use this as your blog, right? For the things you are learning, and use S3. So imagine if you tell your recruiter that you've created your blog, which you use in documenting your what is it called, your tech journey. So somebody has done the hard work for you in getting the website up. Did you see that? Older posts. It will be showing you older posts and the rest of them. Somebody has done the hard work for you. All you need to do is just to click. You understand? So now, but you need to edit it, okay? You need to go to the code and start looking for, you understand? So just, I know you can play around, and if you, for instance, now you have a code that looks like this. Where's our VS code? Good. Index.html. So if I wanted to, you're looking for what to change. Okay, let's go back to the application. This is the application, right? So you are looking for how to change this submit, or you want to change, can you guess the name of this fruit? Can you guess the name of this amazing fruit? You want to put amazing here, okay? So you can copy this, okay, and go to VS Code and use Control F, and paste it. You understand? Paste what you copied. Can you see it took you to that specific section on line 47? So you can just come here and then type amazing. That's how simple it is to edit the document. Okay. Uh-huh. So even this submit button, this submit here, you can change it here. See, it's staring at you here. The submit button. Okay. So, but again, I just want to see how you all can get yourself exposed to the code. Don't feel intimidated. I'm not asking you to learn how to code. You're just learning how to read it and play around with it. If it gets confusing, please reach out. We can always guide you. Okay, remember Fridays is our technical review and mentorship session, so you can always come. Okay, so this is more like this is not necessarily a project or anything, but it's just like a classwork. All right, it's a classwork. So we'll create a form and give you all to drop a screenshot of your finished product and the rest. We'll give you more information on that. But please, I want you to do something like this. So we need a URL and a screenshot. Just take a screenshot so that we'll see the URL and we'll see the whatever you published. You understand? So please, this is where to get it. I hope. So if you understood this task, please type yes on the comment section. So I'll be sure that everybody understood it. If you understood it, please type yes. But how about charges on the running bucket if we decide to use that clean blog to, so for now, because you are still using the free tier, it's free. You don't need to bother yourself. For the most, I think it's still free. Okay? I think it's free. You can still host services there for free. I don't think it incurs any cost. Even if it does incurs any cost, in a month, I don't think it will exceed up to $1, if I'm correct. Okay, so I'm going to take the task again so that everybody can get the big picture. Now, although because of the time, yes, I may not, I saw some few persons that say to avoid information overload, I should extend the class to the next. So that's what I will do. So I'm not going to teach again. So if you allow me, I could continue this class till 12 midnight, right? So, but again, like I said, I want you all to always understand, and also it's already late right here in Nigeria. So now, but let me recap the task again. So visit this URL. So if you don't want to use, I would have preferred this clean blog, but if you click on this and scroll down here, you will see different types. Did you see that? You can see as many as possible. You can actually choose this personal one. Okay. Now, when you choose this, you can edit it and add your own specialized or custom content. I hope that makes sense. So this is personal website and it's free. Please take note of the free. This is pro. You need to pay for this. Okay. This is personal. And then this is another agency one. And then we have another one on portfolio. This is a portfolio. All right. And then this is a website. So just to, well, you can also choose this one for your resume. Do you understand? So I think let me make the options very open. So you can just choose any beautiful design you want here, download it from the free option. Okay. So if supposing I want to choose this one, I'll click on this. Remember, it's free. So you can see free download here. Okay. So this, if you want to see a preview of what it looks like, click on this and it will show you a preview Okay, then this is the free download. If you click on this, it will download a file. Okay, a file in that is gzipped. So you need to unzip the file. Okay, so you know what? Let me just show. Okay, well, just to foster community interaction, I will not show you, because if I do that, it means some persons might not end up I want people to interact. I want you to get stuck at one point and ask somebody, and I want that interaction, okay, so that you can learn. That's the beauty of it. But if you know how to do it, you can actually do this without interacting with anybody. So when you download this file, it's going to be in a zip file format. Okay, you need to have WinRAR to extract the files, okay? And then you need to upload the files to the bucket you created and do your settings, your configuration, and there you go. It's as simple as that. Okay, so please watch this video again, and if you have any questions, please reach out to us. So this will be all. I hope it's really been informative to everybody. Okay, I hope it's been informative. Please let me know if you have any questions. That will be the end of today's session. All right. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. So I'm going to take 5 questions. I'm going to take 5 questions and then we'll wrap it up. Okay. I'll just take 5 questions, please. If it's not up to 5, that's fine. But I'm only going to take 5 questions, please. The first 5. Please, any other person should please don't worry in the next class, or I will try my best to go on Telegram today. Apologies for somebody told me that they sent me Telegram message. I'm so sorry. I've not been there since the last class we had. I'm going to try and get there and respond to the messages, including LinkedIn. All right. So I apologize. Thank you so much, Ifeloa. Thank you. So let's take the questions then. Okay, let me address the comments first, and then okay, let's take the questions, then I'll take the okay, so we only have 2 people with questions. That's good. Thank God. All right. So let's Mr. Victor, go ahead, please. Go ahead, please. You can unmute yourself and ask your question if you have any. All right. Mr. Victor, you can unmute yourself. Good evening.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear, sir.
Can you
go
hear
ahead,
me?
Please. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Thank you for the thank. Okay. Thank you for the class so far.
You're welcome, sir.
I'm just listening to the audio. It's quite unfortunate. This is the 4th class we're having. I don't know. Maybe I will have to buy a hotspot or Wi-Fi. I've not been able to see any of the video of the live classes. That's by the way.
Okay.
But I've been following.
Okay,
Following
hold on.
immediately
You can
the
hear
video
me,
drops.
but you cannot see anything.
Can you hear me?
Is that what you're saying? Wait, hold. Yes, I can hear you
Yes, that's what
audibly,
I
sir.
mean.
So what you're saying is you can hear me,
That's been
you can hear, but you cannot see. That the visuals are not showing.
yes, and I know it's my network. This thing for the past 3 classes.
Okay.
That's what I've been facing.
So are you
So
using the
my
application or you're using
question,
your browser?
I'm using the app
Any
both on the phone and the laptop. I think it's my network. Maybe I will have to get 5G SIM or something. That's what I'm looking at, Sha.
okay. Okay, no
So
problem. Go
my
ahead, please.
question number one, I just discovered that the link of the last okay, the technical writing. I don't think I can't be able to copy it out from the chat. Hello, can you hear me?
Again, I didn't get that. Yes,
Oh,
but I didn't get what you mean.
the the link of the technical writing you posted before you start this class this evening, before you started it this evening.
So the link, if you watch here, so I said I was going to share it via YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to upload. So this is the video here, right? So I'm going to upload it. Okay, you know what? I could just as well do it on this call right now. So I'll just go to my YouTube and try to upload the video. Then I'll share the video for the YouTube. I hope that makes sense. So that you can see the video and
Yeah.
then make reference to this publication as well. Okay, so let me share this one.
Okay.
I'm sure I didn't share this one before. So I'm going to share it now, and it's also going to be shared on the
Please.
Telegram channel. Okay. So
Yes, yes, that telegram channel is very important. Um,
yes, you will get it.
uh, okay, okay. Then,
So that's all right.
you said?
That's all right. I hope we've addressed your questions, please.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So just expect a link from us for the video or for the documentation. It's been written down. Okay. I've shared the link on the comment section of this call. Okay, no problem, Mr. Emmanuel. I'll
Okay.
share the link, my handle for Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. I will. Okay, so let's take the next person. Thank you so much, Mr. Victor. Mr. Babatunde, will you kindly unmute yourself and ask your question, please?
So, hello, sir.
Yes, you're welcome.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you for the class.
kindly proceed.
Yeah, yeah. I have about 4 questions. Please bear with me. The first is I didn't quite get the first thing you said about technical writing and video creation. I was supposed to do the two. I was supposed to like answer the in the link you gave us. I think I read the task there. I mean, the first task you started in the beginning of the class. I was supposed to like um put that in writing. You said something about video creation. I didn't quite get that part, please. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. That's fine. So, um, yeah, so the task requires you to document your learning, right? So you can either choose
Sorry.
to create an article. In summary, you can choose to create an article or create a video or both. Your decision. Okay. But we just need one of them.
Is it
But if you create both of them,
okay?
that's fine. Okay. Because you're improving yourself. It's something that you're using to help your career. So it's very simple, but the only way you can learn is to start. Okay. So we showed you the steps on how to do either of them. So you choose the one you prefer. Okay. So
Okay, so
I'm sharing my
it's
handle. So go ahead. Go
everything
ahead,
we've
please.
learned
I can
through
hear you.
so far. Everything we've learned so far. That's what you
No, no,
said
no,
we
no, no,
should
no, no.
put down.
No, not everything we've learned so far. Especially today we learned S3, right? So the
Yeah.
instructions on what to do is written on the task we gave you. So let me show you so you can
Okay.
see it. So if you watch here, you're going to see so this is the task here, week one project. So this is week one project. Okay. Setting up a
Okay.
cost-effective AWS environment. And we told you what we should expect. So this is it here. That's all.
Okay.
It's not
Okay.
too much.
Just
So if you read this, you
okay. Just for
understand what we expect.
okay. Okay. Just for today's learning.
Not today's
Hello.
learning. What we did today is different from what we have here. If you can still hear me, Mr. Babatunde,
Can you hear
can you
you?
still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is this is the task for week one. Okay. This is what we want to see in your week one article, right? So either you are creating
Okay.
an article or you're creating a video for it. Okay. Either an
Okay.
article or a video. I think I should put technical article or video. Okay.
Okay.
So this is what it should cover. Okay. So that's
Okay.
what we are saying.
Okay.
And the steps on how to
Okay.
create the article is what how to create the article and the video is what we have here. Okay. These are the instructions we have here on how you can create the article. Okay. For
Okay.
anyone that is still
Okay.
struggling on how to create article, either article or video, this is the steps. Okay. So to explain some of these things, I created a video for it. Okay. And that is what I will
Okay.
upload on my YouTube channel and share the link for that video. And you can
Okay.
understand better how to create on hash on example like dev.to or hash node and all this platform. Even though I didn't go so deep, but it's simple that you can understand it. Okay. So if you watch
Okay.
the video, you will understand better. All right.
Okay. Okay.
I hope that answers your question,
Okay.
please.
Yes. So, um, you said okay. Then number two, the question is, I'm sorry, you uploaded about
Go
four
ahead.
fives into yeah, into the object part of the bucket in creating, when you created your bucket, then the permissions, you have the permissions where you did enabled the website hosting. Then the bucket part, you uploaded about 4 files there. But I'm so, maybe because you were a little bit fast today, I could only see, I could only
Oh,
grab,
I was
like you said,
fast.
error.html and then index.html. I could only get those two. I don't know the rest of the four, but I only two
Oh,
folders. I could remember two folders that you kind of uploaded. I can't remember the rest two.
okay, that's a beautiful observation. So the thing is this: if you watch, right? So it's true that we uploaded so many files here, right? So this is just me uploading sample files. The most important thing is the index and the error. Is the index and the error that is making this page work. See, this page is working.
Okay.
Is it not true? If you do this and do
Yes.
this, you see this is what you see. If you type Apple
Yes.
and do this, it works. If you mistakenly put a different link, maybe you come here and type something else, maybe you put about page and hit enter. The idea is this: it is supposed to give you this page doesn't exist. Can you see? It's
Okay.
serving that error page.
Error page.
You
Okay.
understand? Good. It's because of
Okay.
this error.html that I created from my VS Code. Did you
Okay.
see it here? That was what I
Yes.
created.
Yes.
Imagine if I
So,
had I had done something else and said, "Oh my goodness, where are you going to? This page does not exist. Please go back, Jerry." You understand? I could say something like that. So the most important thing is a 404 page. It could even be a picture. Do you understand? So the
okay.
most important thing
Okay.
is that's just so it's one of the features of S3 for website hosting. So it knows how to redirect any error to that error page. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay.
Okay.
So any other file that I upload here is just for my own benefit. Do you understand? Let's
Okay.
take it so you see. This
Okay.
is objects. These are the objects. I can delete this, and delete this. It will still work. This is the most
Okay.
important file there, and this one. Okay.
Okay.
These are the two important files.
What's that?
I hope
Okay.
that makes sense. So, for
Okay. Then
instance,
how good to,
there is a file called. Go ahead.
how good to get the code? The code. I think you're going to give us the code,
I'm going
right?
to share the code. I'm going to share the code. I'm going to share the
Okay.
code. All right. I'm going to share it. So imagine this is employees.txt, and somebody, because the person saw it and decided to go and type employees.txt. If you hit enter, now let's see what happens. So now, ideally, if you see this is supposed to show something, but it's not showing anything because there's nothing inside that file. Why? Because of the configuration we set. Now, ideally, the way I uploaded the file, I was not even supposed to upload all those things that way. Now, what do I mean by that? Let me show you. When I uploaded this file, I granted everything public access. So that's why this file is supposed to. So this is IT credentials. If I add something inside these files right now, for instance, this is the files. If you click on this, you see there's nothing here. Click on this, you see there's nothing here.
Okay.
If I had come here and put Mary, Vivian, you understand, and I upload those files, it means somebody that does this will be able to see it. But
Okay.
you are not supposed to expose all the files. Websites are not supposed to expose all the files. It's supposed to be just this index and just this error. Okay, so you're supposed to only upload this one. I mean, you're supposed to upload this and this. Then for these other ones, you don't grant them public access. Okay, take notes. You don't grant them public access because you don't want people to be seeing content of these special files, right?
Okay.
Okay, I hope that answers your question. All right,
Okay,
so
please go. Yeah, the last question, please. The starting start bootstrap stuff. I don't understand it. Maybe because my network was glitching. Please, if you just within seconds, just explain what you have to do there, please. And also the
okay,
video, it gets a little bit late sometimes. Maybe maybe tomorrow evening before you release. Maybe I know you are very busy. I'm sorry. No, because sometimes it
Go ahead,
takes
please.
like say tomorrow evening before I can see the video. You can see the video. So it's like we can, if you can get the video earlier, it will be better, please. Like so that we don't forget what you have
Honestly,
taught us before we
I
watch the
always
video.
share the, sorry to interrupt, I always share the video after every session. I always do. Every session, I always share it. The only difference is, right now, we are still, I will discuss with Chief Abiola so that he can give me access to posting on the main, the important announcement channel. So right now,
Mm,
he's the only person that can post on the important announcement channel. So that
mm,
is why
mm.
when I post the link, you guys, some people miss it. So, okay, you know what? Let me go to Telegram. So, but please, anytime you come to Telegram, always check for pinned messages, regardless of the channel.
Okay.
Pinned
Okay.
messages, pinned messages is very important. Okay, because you might go to a channel, for instance, this is Skills Africa, right? You click on this. Okay, so now I have so many messages here. So this is the important announcement. See, right now I don't have access here, but Chief Abiola has access
Okay.
here, right? So now,
Okay.
I could come here, right? This is the channel, right? So I can come here and the links that I shared for instance, this one. If I come here right now and click on share and copy this link, so if I paste it, so I can share it on this recorded. You see, even this channel, I don't have access to it. You see that it's locked. The same way it's locked for you all. Okay. So Chief Abiola needs to grant me access. So, but if I come to what is it called? This general, okay, or daily reports, I know some people usually check, right? So if I paste it, sometimes after each class, I usually paste it. Okay. It's only that sometimes when people have so many messages, you might miss it. So what I usually do, you see, I've pasted it now. So you might not see it if you come at a later time when people have posted things. I usually right click
Okay.
it and pin it. So if I click on pin and say notify all members, so sometimes you will get, if you want to see pin messages, click here, okay? Or just
Yeah.
go to your your Telegram and check for pinned messages, okay? Or if you click on this, you're going to click on, you should be able to see some pinned messages. I think there's a way it works, or links, okay? Shared links. So if you click on shared links, check there, you're going to see the latest one there. You understand? So
Okay.
that's one way you can also improve your speed to check. Okay, so right now I'm going to share the video session after the video link after the session. Okay, pending when Mr. Abiola posts it to this important announcement. Okay,
Okay.
so I want to
Okay.
apologize. Okay, if you all have not been
Mm,
getting it on time, I always do share it there. So two places. If you don't see it here, always check the Google Drive. Okay, although I stopped posting the videos to the Google Drive because of the size. Some people prefer watching it. So either you watch it online or you download it by yourself. Okay, because the size is usually smaller with the Teams link. But if I upload it on Google Drive, the size will be larger. Okay, so this
okay.
is for different reasons. So I prefer sharing the link so you decide if you want to download it or watch it. Okay, so I hope that answers your
Okay.
question.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Mm.
Let's take the next person. Mr. Obivere, right? Yeah. Would you kindly unmute yourself, sir, or Mrs. Kindly unmute yourself and ask your question if you have it. Obivere Obober, are you there?
All right, I'm unmuted. Good evening.
Awesome. Good evening.
Thank you so much for the class.
You're welcome. Thank
I
you.
I wanted to make a suggestion, but
Mm-hmm.
my suggestion now is almost like antithetical to what the last person just talked about, because I wanted us to be strictly keeping the things that are assignments and announcements and things like that in the locked channels. Because sometimes I'll come and there are so many messages and you don't know. I'll say, oh, we have assignment to do, and I'm seeing link here and there. I'm confused, like which link are we supposed to click on? So if we just say, okay, anything that has to do with announcements, assignments, what you are passing on to us as message should be strictly on those channels that are locked. Then the other channels, we can now interact with ourselves on those other channels. That's what I wanted to say. But now, if you do that, like this link you are saying you are unable to
Okay.
post
We
on
are not
those channels
actually
will
going to
be
alter it.
difficult.
If you can still
Okay.
hear me, we are not going to change
Yes.
it. Okay. So it's just myself I'm speaking about. Okay. So Chief
Okay.
Abiola will just give me access to always post the messages there. This is going to still remain locked. These three channels will still remain locked for everybody. So if he's able to find a way around to grant me access, then I will have access. Other than that, I will have to always send the link to him and then he will
To
share it to
him.
you all. You
All right.
understand? Yes.
Welcome.
So he will always be the
All
one
right.
sharing it. Okay. So, but in case I
Okay.
feel like there's something I need to pass across important, okay,
Mm.
pending when
You pin it
he's available, right? See, pending when he's available, I will always share it in either of this
and
channel
pin.
and pin the message there. I hope that makes sense.
Okay.
Right.
All right. No problem. All
Thank
right.
you.
Have a great evening.
Okay. All right, you too. Thank you for joining. All right. So Mr. Jafar, Musa, thank you for joining. Please can you unmute yourself and say something if you have a question?
Yeah, yeah, ping pong. Thank you very much, Mr. Frederick. Every session with you, it's a blast. Beyond the
Thank
cloud
you.
engineering, I'm seriously learning leadership from you subconsciously, and I'm also learning a lot of things. Uh, God bless you and God guide you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, what I want to get clarification on is about the last session for the assignment on the bootstrap. Whatever we are going to download, are we to personalize it or we should just make it as it is on the cloud?
Yes, you're meant to personalize it, to customize it
Oh,
to your personal contents. Yes,
okay.
yes.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for your kind words. I truly appreciate it. Okay, so I think that's all. I think we've addressed all the questions. So I'm still going to share my link. In case I'm going to share the YouTube link, the Twitter and the LinkedIn for anybody that wants to check those resources there. And also if you want to tag me for your assignments, please do. Okay, I think so. I'm going to stop the recording right now. Okay. So that it's not so lengthy, so that we can all watch it. Click on this and stop the recording. Okay. Mr. Tayo, you seem to be going on and off. I don't know